that was playing Doggy Lewis Kruger. And all my theatre training went into this character. And people, and thank you for coming up to the booth and being patient, standing in the lines. I based him on General Patton. He was a general for me. And I don't know if you're familiar with the story, but I kept him regal and I kept him very militant until he found out that his wife, Acinia, was alive. And then I tried to make him more human. And some of the hardest things about being in that dog suit was trying to give my character a soul, and I'm not seeing him. And I always felt like, I felt like as an actor that I should be seen, you know, so that I could convey the emotions across. But I was, it came down to the orchestra, and that when I say the orchestra, how everybody plays their part. So the mechanics working the eyes. I saw the head and I was like, man, how is this gonna work? Because Power Rangers, the mentors are always in human form, in some way, form, or fashion, with maybe some prosthetics. But I was behind this veil, and I had to make him walk and look a certain way. And I keep telling people, like, yeah, it wasn't easy. I never complained. I was grateful, man, to try to bring this character to life. And yeah, everyone keeps bringing up it catching on fire.
Oh yeah, smoke coming out of the eyes.
Oh man, I'm sitting there. So it takes 20 minutes to get into the costume, and I'm sitting there, and then I hear this like a spark, and I'm like, like you can't touch it, man. I'm wearing these like.
You literally couldn't get your arms to touch it. Yeah.
It was a 15 kilo hit. What was it, 30 pounds in there? 30 pounds. I could only see through the mouth. And so the guys cracked me out because they're like doing the facials while they're controlling the mouth and the eyes. And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? And I actually read the lines in the costume, and I had to yell them so the actors could respond to them. And then we go to ADR. And then we go to ADR and do the recording, audio recording then. But I'm in that moment. So I was pretty much responsible for everything. Anyway, the fire. So I was sitting there, and the electrical wiring malfunctions at the back, and I'm sitting there like, I just felt like a hot patch, like someone just put a little hot iron on my shoulder, and I'm sitting there like, that's all in my mind. Because being in that costume, I'll be sitting there for hours with no ventilation, just sweating, man. Like it was hot, middle of summer in New Zealand. So when the electrical wiring went off, the smoke started to creep up and fill the helmet, and you can't do nothing. Like it's like if you're a motorcycle, got a motorcycle helmet and a bee is in the visor. You know how hard? What are you gonna do? Just looking at it. The smoke comes up, and I'm like, oh man, and I'm sitting here going, man, is it burning? And then everyone's looking at me and said, Doggy Kruger looked like he just had a cigarette. The smoke goes out and everyone starts panicking. You know, I'm just feeling this heat patch back there. Like, oh damn. And they're running, they're panicking outside, looking through the visor. Mate, it's all right, calm down. I'm like, dude, why are you running around? So I heard
evacuating the building and you're standing.
The conversation I had with myself was like, no, you need a man up here, just be calm. And I want, you know, it's like, so I stood up and I wanted to run, but where am I going? And it was just like everyone was just going around. And then they managed to get the head halfway off and just cram the fire extinguisher in there, and they just, yeah, but it was, and it was funny, because
it's funny now.
It's funny now. I wanted them to be comfortable that I would still deliver and finish the show. You know, I've worked with some real divas in my life. I've been around some big personalities, some very wealthy people, and with that comes a lot of arrogance in their wealth, a lot of I could feel how wealth can create arrogance. Yeah. And I didn't want them to panic and then look at the contract and say, we have to pay him, because I said, dude, just put it out and let's finish this. I'm fine. I've got a little rash in the back, but she's all right. And that stuck with them. So when this opportunity came around, and I was overweight at the time, I started getting comfortable, made a lot of money, started eating out more, as you do. They said, we want you to play this role, but how could you play it differently? And I based this character on Russell Crowe's performance as Maximus in Gladiator. And that's, so as an actor, I like to look at a base. And I don't try and imitate the performance, but I look for an inspiration in the character. And yeah, Solaris Night, that's, I was playing into it. But yeah, that was the hot wire incident.
That was one thing I was going to ask about that. Getting Solaris Night afterwards, was it just, John, you were so good last time, we want to give this to you, or was it another audition, or was it another full experience of you saying, I need another gig?
Well, yeah, I auditioned for it, like everybody else, and I just wanted to say, for me, I felt incomplete as an actor. Like I played Sergeant Silverback, as I did. I auditioned for it, like everybody else, and I just wanted to say, for me, I felt incomplete as an actor. Like I played Sergeant Silverback, as I did. My name is Sergeant Silverback. I'm the hardest, meanest, most fierce teacher you ever had. Am I clear? Yeah, but so I like to base it on yeah, so this was, yeah, I based it on Russell Crowe's performance. And I said to them, you know, let's have a Kiwi accent in there. And it worked out, trumps. Any questions? You can direct the traffic.
Yeah. So you talked a bit about finding your performance and basing Kruger off of Patton. The voice is what I'm interested in, because the voice is stern but also warm, fatherly but also with authority. How did you find that voice?
Man, people always ask me what's the formula for success in this industry. I just like a formula. I can't give you a formula. But preparation, being prepared, and like I tell people, and this thing sounds really hippie, but like, love yourself, accept yourself, own yourself. You know what I mean? Like, don't seek validation, anything else. I was a father. I just had my oldest son, was married. So I don't know, my instincts to protect and provide as a father, Doggy Kruger had that with his cadets. Firm, hard love, you know? And like I said, as soon as I felt Doggy Kruger's character was, you can't just make him militant, but not give him a soul, man. He's still, it's important because when you're caring for others, there has to be a quality of wisdom and leadership. And I used myself, I'm the oldest of 9 siblings, 5 sisters and 3 other brothers that came into play. And, you know, I grew up in a rugby background in New Zealand, and I also loved acting. And the two I had, like, you know, the jocks were in mocking me while I was doing Shakespeare in the fucking school hall. Sorry, kids. Sorry, kids. Sorry, love. Yeah, so I truly believe that every actor, when they do a performance, invests some of themselves in the performance. You know, there's some, you carry qualities that, and then for me, I just highlighted it. So Kruger, for me, I cared for these 5, you know. I loved them, hard love. When he found out his wife was alive, I felt that the character arc changed, because then he didn't have to carry that guilt that he let his wife be killed. And she was alive, so I tried to make it more human and more relatable. So if you look at the series, Doggy Kruger would actually crack a few jokes, you know? He had a humor. He was more lightened. I'll share a story. We had a shot, so after, we had a shot where they were filming Doggy Kruger, and he would talk about the origins of his planet and how they all got wiped out. And how he felt he failed to protect the woman he loved, you know? Like in Braveheart, he couldn't protect her no matter what he did. But the vengeance after that was harsh. The man was hardened by that experience. When they flipped it around, I came out of the dog's head and I told the story again. Because when I was in the dog's head, I felt I gave a performance for me that was worthy. It was one of my best performances. I was crying in that moment, and I'm in the dog's head, and no one will ever hear it. You know what I'm saying? It's like doing theater. You do a great performance, the audience applauds, but it was never recorded. It's gone forever. And one of my best performances was in that dog's head, telling these cadets how I love them and I will never let them down. They need to just trust me in my process, and I will protect them, and they're going to be great Power Rangers. I was crying when I talked about my wife in the dogs here. It was emotional. Probably one of my best performances. You know what I mean? I emptied the tank, man. I emptied the cup. I poured my soul into every character I played because I wanted to be real. I leave a bit of myself in it. I'm borderline schizophrenia sometimes, but at the same time, you have to know that it's just fun. I love being part of this fantasy book. Once a Ranger.
Always a Ranger.
Woo! Woo!
There he is! Who's in the building?
What's your problem with me, man?
That's what I do,
What's your
man.
problem with me, man?
That's what I do. You got some components, man. Sorry, I left that there for a second. Any other questions? If you know
Blame it on the schizophrenia.
There we go. Who's next? Let's start in the front row down here. I'll go
All right,
around.
you quarterback this thing.
Yeah.
All right, you do your job.
Let's bring it on down. We'll start right in the front row, and then here, here, and here, so you don't have to hold your hands up. Here you go.
How do you like always go from like a panel to your table and then to a photo op or back to your table?
This is my first with this franchise, and I'm enjoying it. Thank you.
It's not a fun yet. Just let it go. Make it happen. He's got a tight
To
step. That goes
me,
back.
I see you waiting, and it matters to me. Like I said, I've worked with a lot of divas and some really unappreciative celebrities out there that don't acknowledge their fan base. This is my way of saying, I recognize you, I see you, and I'm grateful to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here.
Hi.
The main reason I came actually, and I'm just really grateful, and I think you're a really great person. But kind of weird question. I never realized before that you had an accent. So can you do the Doggy Kruger voice so I can kind of see you do it as opposed to just the dog puppet?
So if I was, honestly, I would, in the costume, I had to find this walk. So I keep saying people, I was wearing like these massive like ski boots, you know, and they shaped them as paws. And then I had like football shoulder pads on, and then they put this leather jacket on, and then the head was the last thing that we went into. So I had to find how the man walked. I didn't want to, but I wanted him to be animalistic as well, because he growls. It's funny because I used to see guys. One guy controls the eyes, so he's doing that, and I can see them. Sometimes I've got a little laugh, you know. And then the dude who does the mouth, he's like. Because they're in it. They're trying to, you know, it's fun.
I love Insidia, Doggy Kruger, over and out.
And I wasn't, at the time, I wasn't.
Make love to me like that.
Children in the building. Did you give him, I told you I wanted to give him a drink.
No, that's not. It's
It's Rod. They've already seen your true colors, buddy. I'll see you later, Bo. Love you. So yeah, and so I had to, instead of making it mechanical, so it was hard to, it was very stiff. So instead of like turning, because that's how it was hard to just go, hey, like, I've got enough numbing, but my knees were stiff, so it was hard to turn. In the beginning, I was like, I am Doggy. I was like, dude, I'm going to be found out, because it was risky then making the lead mentor a puppet, you know what I mean? Mechanical puppet. So I did a Shakespearean swivel. You see it a lot, man, with the cape and stuff. I'll be like, Kruger, and I'll be like, mastered it, man. You should see it. I swiveled that over here. I found it all, but yeah, does that help anything? Because
It did,
I
thank
don't know where I was going. Thank you.
Hi there, John, and thanks again for coming. Appreciate it. This actually kind of ties into that question, talking about the voice. You had mentioned a little bit about doing ADR and voice work.
Yeah, I was more relaxed And they, yeah, so it really.
Can you just talk a little bit about the process and maybe some of the challenges of taking a character that you perform in live action and then translating that into voice work when you're applying it like over battle footage?
Man, it's energy. The Power Ranger world is heightened to the point. Here, solar cell morpher, like it's like I come in and I'm on crack straight away. But the energy has to be. You can't. And I've come in. I'm tired. I've been up all night. I've helped the missus with our twins. I'm coming tired. And I'm like, oh. Ranger more. I mastered how to just. But for me, sometimes I'll do like 5 burpees just to keep. You know, if it's a fight scene and you're constantly doing it, yeah. So I'll do like some burpees and so I'm breathing heavily. I do a lot of voice work, so I know what it takes for me to be convincing when you hear it. Otherwise, you can tell if it's in the booth or not, you know?
Right.
Bad voiceovers, and you know, for as awesome as the series is, like I can hear when it's not truly connected, you know what I mean? And it's just a voice with the stunties doing their stuff. But I have to honor the stunties and all their hard work, because these Japanese stuntmen were on to work with. They never complained, you know? Like, I was talking with Glenn before, the stunty breaks his foot, and then Japanese culture, he's apologized. Oh, sorry, and I'm gonna say, damn, you just bring your to apologize, bro. Man, yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, energy in the Ranger world. And it's interesting, there was some part of the storyline, I remember them telling me to tone it down because it's too deep, this is for children, you know? So it's if you got a good director and they give you good direction, that collaboration can work, you know? I've worked with some directors, they don't even know what, they're just about the picture. And then you've got to fill in the gaps. It's like, I have to know all the answers about Dr. Kruger, and I can't show it because I'm in this mask. It's it. It was, yeah. And I was claustrophobic, did I forget to tell you? I was like, man, I'm not putting a head on. And Greg was like, dude, can't. And I thought it was going to get prosthetics. Great, you just put the head on. And when they put it on, I was just sitting there like, oh man, I can't do it. And then I saw the chick, and I go, oh, you keep it on, it's all right. I'll play a character. I'll make those sacrifices. Nah, yeah. And that's another thing. John Toyes, the actor, was like, I'm not working. I'm going to be part of a universal. I felt like I was going to be part of something special, so I couldn't complain. I wasn't going to look back and say I never applied myself 100%. In this industry, man, you're going to be told a lot of doors will close in your face, but you have to have the belief in yourself that just you're enough, because you are. Still try to be like anyone else, just be you, man. Yeah.
Woo!
Hi, John.
Hey, brother.
Just wondering if you're aware of how far the character of Doggy Kruger has gone on in the video game.
Yeah, I heard that it just came on a video game.
And the comic
They didn't even ask me to voice that. I wish they had reached out. I would have loved to have voiced that. It's like, you know, there's only so much. You couldn't watch Lion King without having James Earl Jones do Mufasa's voice. For us, the nostalgia, the oldies, to make that connection. I would have loved to voice that game. And not for the money, just for he's my character.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
Right, he just played such a huge role in the comic books too.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Like, you guys have taught me more about my character than I ever knew, because at the time we go in, we sit down, we have these table reads, we read the storyline, and we're like, you know, okay, so I'm working on this and this. And people say, which episode do you like the most? And I go, it's hard because we shot out of sync. We never shot anything chronologically. So we'd shoot a scene from episode 1, another scene from episode 4, and so in my mind I had to already know the journey and then apply myself to that journey. I couldn't think far ahead. And then it was good because I always loved to watch the rushes for me as the actor to critique myself and go, oh damn, I could have done this better, I could have done it. My job is to just tell this story. It's not about me, you know? I'm just a player in this tale, and I have to tell the story from beginning to end, and then bow after it, and then let it go. But I love this world. And the past 3 days for me have been intoxicating in terms of being immersed back in this world. And then I start to go, I'm remembering my first break. Because my first break, this changed my life. And they didn't show it in New Zealand. Like I was walking around the streets and it felt good not being recognized. But then I come to LA and like, dude, you're a Power Ranger. I'm like, whoa. Because you guys, it's not about right or wrong, but we're different. Like you guys support your celebrities way different, man. Like good old America, everything's supersized, hardcore, don't go, you know, like, and being part of this Ranger world, like, changed my life forever. So my career wouldn't have taken off, or I wouldn't have been seen internationally if it wasn't for the Power Rangers. And like I said, and I know it's salty, but my great-grandchildren will always remember that their great-grandfather was a Power Ranger.
Thank you.
I'm proud to be proud of this. Thank you.
When working on Hobbs and Shaw, did you have like a starstruck?
I looked way better than the way.
Was it?
Oh man, he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. He's everything I expected an action star to be. Finish the question before I talk over you again.
Did you have a starstruck moment working with The Rock?
Always, but I can't play fanboy when I'm working with. I'm an artist. I'm an actor. For me to pull a phone out and forgive my expression, hug nuts, like it will lower my status as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like when I hung out with Liam Neeson, in my mind I wanted to pull the phone out and capture that moment, so I could share it. I was like, nah, I'm gonna be here. I'm drawn to him. I have the right to be here. I'm having a beer with him. I'm talking to him. I'm chilling out with Liam Neeson. And now I wish I've got a few photos with him, but yeah. Seeing Rihanna for the first time. Everybody wants to know. No, I declined all her advances. Please don't impress this man. I know how y'all get with your editing. Nah, she never made it. I don't worship celebrities. Worship only goes to one. Whatever your belief is, respect. They're people. They sweat, they go to the bathroom, they all that. But in society and status, you know. That's what I keep telling people, don't chase likes and comments. Get crazy. You need that validation. I need that validation. No, man. Just be in the moment. When I'm around celebrities, yes, I am starstruck, but I'm more grateful than I am anything else, that I'm here, and I'm writing my legacy, I'm living my life. And I don't want to be better than anybody else. I want my work to speak for itself. I love this craft, I love what I do. I went to university to study being an actor, so I could be taken seriously. I do Shakespeare, I'm classically trained. For I shall not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet and to be baited with a rebel's curse. And though Burnham would do, come to Dunsinane, power opposed, being of no woman born. Yet I try the last, before my body I throw a warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff! And down be him who first cries, hold, enough! Macbeth, one of my favorite plays ever. And then he gets his heel power, but he went out like eyeballs.
I don't know what we can about that.
Hey, John. Singer? Okay. So we established last night, we both are fellow ruggers.
What happened last night stays last night.
We are both fellow rugby players in our
Yes.
past, so actually before I get to that question, personally, with Dagger on, you were probably definitely the first that I can remember, or at least the first one that comes to my mind when I think of larger individuals playing Power Rangers. Because I've been noticing, you know, a lot of Rangers are not built like us.
Yeah.
So, just for me personally, seeing a larger person getting, you know, at least.
Our big is beautiful too.
Yeah.
This world's got you hating yourself.
No, I don't hate myself.
No, but I mean, like, they want us to be thin. They want us to look a certain way, and every time my daughter comes to me and says, Daddy, am I okay? I start to cry when I baby, you're enough. Just don't be obsessive about it. Just love you, man. Yep.
So,
Just stay prepared.
Mike.
what are some of your best rugby stories? Because we're both played forward, I remember.
I was shooting The Hobbit, and I worked with an actor, I don't want to mention names, and the person hurt themselves. Because we rehearsed the thing, and rehearsal was important, especially when you're doing stunts. The person complained, and this is where, Peter Jackson is the master director. He calls me, he's just like, so my sons at the time, I was coaching their under 6-year-old. And when you watch 6-year-olds playing a violent sport like rugby, they try and take each other's heads off and stuff. It's like, they're so young and cute, but they're playing real violent. But I told Peter how my son, they were playing the grand final, he fractured his wrist, he's 6 years old. And I said to him, I'm gonna pull you off, son. And he's like, no, Daddy, I don't want to let the team down. It was, hit me here. And when he made me tell that story, the person who was complaining just shook off that complaint and we carried on with that. Rugby to me is, it's gladiatorial like football. It's like you learn a lot about yourself, your fears. It's like Park Rangers, you fight the bully. No matter what you go through in life, you just have to fight for your life. You gotta fight. Rugby talking.
Hey, so you mentioned Rihanna earlier. Do you have any good stories or stories that you can share from Battleship?
Yep. So I went there early to learn how to drive a Navy rip boat. It's because I had these two. I had Taylor Kitsch, who was on his rise from Friday Night Lights. He did John Carter. He was on Savages. I had him on the boat, and I had to drive him and Rihanna. We had these scenes out when we spot the alien ship, so I got their lives in my hands. So we went through some military training, Navy training, and I had to learn how to drive this rip boat. And honestly, man, it was scary because I was saying, yes, no, I got this. And when they were teaching it to me, my insecurities was like coming doubt. You know what I mean? So I was there 2 weeks, so I was practicing, and then Rihanna comes on set. And this is where we'll talk about being starstruck. And even though I said I don't show I'm a fan, but like I said, I don't want to show that because it lowers my status. Because it's her first movie. And I've done a few. I've been on TV, So even though she's the biggest star, but she's in my craft. So she came on set, and it's funny because just the hype, man. This girl was like 22 at the time, and like she just released a song with Eminem. She was the one. She was that famous. Paparazzi were like staying at their distance where they should be. Long lens cameras taking photos and pictures. And when she came on, we were on this rip boat where we're shooting. And I don't know if you have these moments, but I have a lot of them. So I was standing there in my Navy uniform, and everyone's like, oh, Rihanna's coming on set. Rihanna's coming on set. I'm sitting there like, where's she? And she comes on, and she's got like people following her, and there's this energy when a big superstar walks into the room, right? And I'm standing by this green, and I'm stuck there. We're getting ready to go on the rip boat. And she comes in, she's getting mic'd, and she's standing there, and she's looking around, and I'm like, act natural. Like, doing whatever it takes for me to act natural. I'm standing there, and she looks over, and she's like, get away. And she starts walking over, and as she's walking over, I'm like, and she's like, hi, you too? And I was like, hey man, how's it going? And I kissed this, it's a Polynesian thing. I mean, a lot of you I know invaded your personal space lately, but a Polynesian thing is like, when we meet women, we kiss, like Italian men, we kiss. So I laid up, I grabbed her and I was like, hey Rihanna, so happy to work with you. And like, you know the ducks? When they're floating on water, they're just like that, but underneath the legs of it. There's no sun. Give her a kiss. I stepped back and I was just talking to myself. Be natural, just be you, John. You are enough. You are. The vibe of this woman. And she walks off. And I remember like the crew and everybody pretending to work because everybody's stuck. Eric walks past me and he's like, dude, did you just kiss Rihanna? I stand there like, yeah, bro.
And then we got him, you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!
Dude, and it was like, they had people running around for them on set, but I was like, would you like water, Rihanna? Is there anything I can get you? I hate it when that happens. You're with me. But yeah, I was taken. But then after we were on this thing for like 12 hours filming, so we're just on this boat, hanging out, talking, and she's just your average girl. Like, she reminds me of my sister, you know, and I've got sisters her age. And I was just doing the math psychologically in my mind to just be like, just talk to her, you know, don't, it's easy to get flustered. And so when I meet some people here, and I'm so grateful that they're speechless, but I'm like, just breathe, find the words. It's happening, I'm here. No, it's like, just relax, I'm grateful to be here. And I hope you guys felt that energy from me. I don't want you to ever feel like I was better than you. I'm part of an extended family. I just happen to be a ranger. Thank you. I was more, let me finish, sorry. I was more in awe of Liam Neeson. Because he does sound that way. He'll fight you.
Oh, yeah.
He sounds that way. And he's tall as, almost away. When we were sitting down in the green room, while everybody was acting on stage, I went and picked up my chair with John Tui on it. Move Rihanna's and put it next to Liam. Put it down next to Liam Neeson. And then tried to act natural when he came in and he sat down. Like, hey, Liam. Sorry to cut you off.
Hello, my name's Tori and I'm from Australia.
G'day, mate.
There you go.
Your brother, Ferris, was over here for a while. We had to get him excluded.
My question is, there's this game called Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. Did you do the voice for Doggy Kruger?
Nah, man. I wish I did. I didn't even know there was a Power Rangers game. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't even know there was a Power Rangers game out there. And now that I do know, my son plays Red Dead and Call of Duty. And my other twins, they play Fortnite. They're gonna all get a package ready for Christmas. Yeah, my favorite game. Power Rangers. Oh yeah, you're like. I love you, son. I'm just dead to them. There is no. And people go to me, bro, you famous? I'm like, not in my household. Not in my house, man. I have to drop my kids a block away for them to become, Dad, can you just drop me? I will push their way to school. I'm like, hey man, you know I'm a Power Ranger. Dad, can you just stop the car? I don't play the games, but
Oh yeah, there's like JDF who does the Green and the White Ranger, and he does Draken as well.
Wow.
So he does those three characters.
And I'm gonna see if I can try and spoil me a freebie while I'm here. But thank you. I'm gonna try and get into it.
Yeah, it's digital.
No, but I wish I did voice it. I don't like it. I don't like hearing something and it's done by somebody else. 'Cause I can hear it. You know, Kermit never sounded the same. You went to Frog when Jim Henson passed. Star Wars was never the same when they took the puppetry out.
Yeah.
Real talk. When they CGI'd their world, the mesh of puppetry and you know, the 80s CGI was what gave Star Wars its world. It was theater, space, fantasy.
Yeah, all the good stuff. Yeah, all the good stuff.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Any other guests?
Back to Wearing the Suit for Doggy Kruger. Did you actually do any of the fight scenes as Kruger, or was that just?
That was my stuntman, Hirokazu, Japanese stuntman. And yeah, like I said, just all the action stuff. And I always wanted to do my own stunts. So when it came to playing Daggeron, I talked to producers and giving me a fight scene. Because I wanted to show that I can do the physical stuff, you know? And being a rugby player too, I love the physical stuff. But they're like, if you get hurt, we have to pay you $1 million insurance. And I was like, I'll break your leg for that. Yeah. I'm that kid who played with imaginary friends. I climbed trees in my time and era in the 80s. We played outside. And I don't know if any of y'all remember that. But my kids now, like I try to get them off this and get them out into the world. You know? It's easy to be expressive on social media, but some people lack the basic skills to make conversation and exchange information and show virtues and learn character. Like, I want my son to go out there and not have game when they're trying to talk to people or their first love. You know what I mean? Like, it's important to have dialogue. I've said this before on a podcast. People can be mean out there, man. But for me, in my mind, I'm like, if you do not take your veil down, then I can't come into your life and take you apart. So, what validates your opinion to me? You're just being me. We fight the bullies anyway. What's up, brother?
Hey,
Hey, dude.
I actually have 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
First off, when you started playing Sergeant Silverback, how did you feel about having that kind of, playing that kind of character? How did that connect with the Rangers?
Refreshing for me as an actor, because it's not about being seen, but I want to show off that I can act. So when they were looking at the cast, I said, Lee Glenn. And then I based Sergeant Silverback on Lee Ermey's performance on Full Metal Jacket. You know, Lee Ermey was that drill and stress, southern hard drill and strike. And I love to play. And then I had to find, I didn't want to just make him look like a gorilla, so I tried to, this is a species of life that, you know, happened to be his planet are all gorillas. So I tried, it was hard because the prosthetics didn't move. It was hard, you know, so this part that was out there was like Planet of the Apes, Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. Have you guys seen that? Well, you know, the prosthetics were similar to that, but you couldn't see them. So I had to really highlight how my mouth moves so the prosthetics would move. Whatever it took for me to make him work, you know, to make the character come to life, I'm about that life.
Yeah, and I told you this the first time we met, but how do you feel now about Commander Kruger now being Supreme Commander of SPD headquarters after Fowler Birdie's retirement?
Proud. And you know, if I could put the helmet back on, I would, because in hindsight now that I've had a flush career and working with people and I'm more confident with myself, I would love to go in the suit one more time and deliver a performance that's...
Yeah, and you did in Soul the Dragon as well, like your character appears in one panel.
Thank you. You guys blew me away, man. Thank you so much.
It's a great from different people from different walks of life. And we still have a few minutes here. We're not wrapping up quite yet. But I just wanted to take a moment again to say that of all the people that do come through, it's important for us as a family of Ranger fans and as a cast to remember that, yeah, we really are all a part of this fantastic thing. And it means a lot to me personally, and I'm sure it means a lot to the audience that you feel that connection with the people. And you've time and time again today and over the weekend reiterated that. But when I first met John, it was just 2 days ago, but I feel like I've known him for years. And for that, I say thank you.
Yeah, I don't try to impress people. That's where I think we can go crazy, you know? But I try to lead with love. Good advice, I reckon.
That's always good advice. I love it.
And you know, don't surround good people around you. Surround yourself with good people. Just have the right people around you. My wife is a rock in my life, you know? I have annoyed her for 18 years. 18 years. And she's quiet. I actually do miss the snort. Marry your best friend. Don't chase that cup. Marry your friend. Because when the looks fade, the character's forever. Yes?
You've mentioned how you got your character and everything for Doggy Kruger. What was your process going into Mystic Force for the Solaris Knight?
It had to be different.
Yeah.
And then I came into the season halfway through, so the Rangers had already bonded. So I was coming into a family that I didn't know what my relationship was with them. And truthfully, when you look at all the Rangers every season, there is a trait. You know what I mean? Like Red Ranger, like, if I don't see the same trait that I saw in Red Ranger 10 years ago in this Ranger, I'm not gonna be connected to it. And Red Ranger and Blue used to go through that struggle of going through hardship and then reinventing themselves and overcoming, trials and tributes. That's what the Ranger, some of the stories blow my mind. They're epic. They're epic, you know what I mean? I was really impressed with some of the writing. My process was, like I said, I based it on Russell Crowe. I liked the story and I liked the way he performed it, and I made him sound Kiwi. When it was interesting, because when I was watching it, it was like, you see this big Polynesian man, and he sounds totally different from what's expected. Being unpredictable was always attractive to me, than being predictable. Yeah. It's the mystery. Like, if you're showing me, how do I put it, man? If you're showing me too much, I'd rather, the mystery is more attractive to me than the total reveal, because it keeps me thinking. I want more. I want to peer around. Don't show me anywhere. Like, does that make sense?
You want to see more?
You find the truth and make yourself happy with that. Because I think I just lost myself too. But the core of what I'm trying to say, I like the mystery more than the reveal. I'm trying to find the words of myself.
Okay, my question is, do you think that you being the first Polynesian actor to portray in the Power Rangers role, do you think that may motivate?
Poor was. I felt, when I came into the world, I was like grateful to be there, and I was like, I don't know, and I need you guys to straighten me out on this, because I didn't Wikipedia myself, but somebody said to me that I was the only person that played 2 mentor roles, and I was like, I don't go looking for it. This is what people have told me, so I might be wrong on that, but correct me if I am. So,
You were both 6 Rangers and you were both
Me, awesome. I'm just going to convince my kids that it's the best thing in their lives. What's your question, sir? Sorry.
Yeah. I'm just like thinking, because it's like to get where you are, where you're from, like Polynesia is full of islands. It's like
Pacific Islanders.
I mean, I guess I could need to do a little bit of like research and knowledge about those areas, but it's like.
Well, let me share. I know what you're saying. I am proud to be a Polynesian and to be working. And it was hard to be boxed in LA, because they were like, I remember being in Louisiana filming and ran into some dudes like, hey man, where you from? I'm like, you Cuban? I was like, nah man. I was wearing rugby shorts. They're like, what you wearing, boxer shorts? I was like, nah, these are rugby shorts. Yeah, he looked like he eat too much. I'm a well-fed Cuban. I was like, what the hell does that mean? I'm well-fed. And I love the Cuban people. I'm Tongan in heritage. And I'm from, as far as I know, I'm the first for a race of people in terms of being Tongan. In terms of Polynesians, Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Cliff Curtis, Tim Warren Morrison, there's a lot of Jason Momoa, there's a few Polynesians out there that are paving the way. And when people say, what's the difference? And I go, man, it's like when you look at La Raza, the Latino races, they're all one race, but they've got different countries, right? But yeah, it's sort of similar to Polynesians. Yeah, man. It's like, yeah, that's it. And I love Dwayne Johnson's half Polynesian, half black. He's half Samoan. I don't know if you guys seen Home to the Shore, but it was emotional for me to be part of a movie with the man, because I remember him 20 years ago and going to myself, damn, he's becoming a big deal. Hopefully I get to work with this guy. I never thought I'd be a Power Ranger. I never thought I'd be on the set with Rihanna or working with Peter Jackson. My journey's been, I hope my journey's inspired people to just be fearless in their pursuit and just be real with themselves and accept themselves and love themselves.
Yeah, it's just because the transportation costs getting to there to New Zealand or anywhere else.
Well, New Zealand's used for filming because it's the one country where you can go from snowy top mountains and in 20 minutes be at a sunny beach. So location-wise, it's perfect. So when they were shooting all the Power Ranger seasons there, the terrain was perfect for Power Rangers. Like Lord of the Rings was perfect to be shot in New Zealand. You know, it's a great place. One of the movies I love was Last Samurai, and they shot it in New Zealand, and I was angry that I was still at drama school when the movie came out. I don't know if I answered the question.
You found some truth in me.
Like down the road, if there's good possibility that there'll be more like Polynesian actors.
I want to see more Polynesian stories out there. From what I know, some of our stories, like yes, Hunt for the Wilder people, right? Monster Warriors, we produce some really hardcore movies. Werewolf Rider. So to me, some of the best stories are the domestic stories that are told in the big action, you know, in the big budget movies. Because stories from the human heart for me have more head for me. Yeah. What's up, brother?
John.
Hey, bro.
Love you, bro.
Oh, man, love you too.
All right. Perhaps you can help me. Well, some of us solve a mystery. Might not be a mystery to some of you. But straight from Doggy's mouth. How does Doggy's snout fit into the helmet?
Everybody asks that. And you know what? They don't pay me enough to talk about it. And it's interesting, but in that world, it works. Eh? But I was always like, you know, he just...
on the inside.
On the inside, that's nice. It's made with Time Lord technology. That explains everything. Yeah. That are the morphing grids just actually how actually the time working.
Yeah. Okay. Space, the bed in space, the tire. That helmet, like,
Thanks. Love you.
It's just the eye of Omega.
Appreciate it. That's great. And I really like what you said at
Paul doesn't have drums playing.
I really like what
in
you
his
said
head all the time. Oh yeah.
I heard you, brother. And yeah, when you ever feel in doubt or don't be so hard on yourself. You know, I've buried a lot of friends growing up at a young age. So I don't know. I speak for me. I buried a lot of friends, so I appreciated life differently. I had to live forward, you know, and just march fearlessly forward with no regrets.
That's good advice. Thank you, John. One more question I think we have time for, guys. Right here.
Yes.
Hey again, John. Okay. I thought of another one actually. We talked about this at your table a little bit, but if you could talk a little bit about working with Kelson Henderson, who's been so many different faces in this franchise.
Kelson?
And you worked with him, Kelson, yeah, you worked with him in
That's
3
my
different
dude, man.
seasons.
Yeah, well, he's so talented. He's a craftsman. He's a craftsman. And would you believe if I told you in New Zealand when I first saw him, he was playing a stripper in this TV series? Next minute I'm working with him on SPD. I'm like,
I can believe it.
I love working with giving and humble actors. And Kelson's he's my brother. He owns a steakhouse in New Zealand, you know? And I still don't get discounts. I love Kelson. Talented actor. Some of his characters are so awesome and quirky. Yeah, he's about that life. That actors like real actors, not just fame mongers. Real actors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Well, first of all, I did not know that was a part of Polynesian culture, with the kiss until yesterday.
Remember how surprised you were when I played one on you?
Yeah.
I absolutely invaded your privacy. And you know what? I didn't use the hand sanitizer the whole time I was there. All of you.
Thank you.
I'm spreading germs everywhere.
But anyways, well...
You're not coming to see me anymore.
Well, I'm a multicultural humanities major, so that's a new thing to learn for me. But anyways, since a past Power Ranger had done it, Dan Southworth did it, would you want to play a blind person, like a blind character on a movie or a show?
For me, the role has to speak to me, you know? And then when I go in, I come in completely. Sorry. Would I play a blind character? If the storyline was good, You know, I've made some really brave choices in my career, and a lot of them were. I was scared. I'm always scared when I'm acting because I'm always going, am I going to be good? You know, I don't want to embarrass my children, my parents. So when I hold myself into account that way, I put my best foot forward. If the role was substantial, like I wouldn't just go out there and just want to play a blind role, but it would be an honor to learn how you live in a world none of us have the idea. The only taste of us in your world is when we're walking and stub our toe in the middle of the night. And I respect you, and I like you. Thank you.
No problem.
Awesome, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up one more time for the man of myth.
Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up.
Yes, please. This is for you, John, and I know that a lot of cast members have had good ovations over the years, but in all the time here, I just want to thank you again for how humble you are and how amazing you are to all of us here.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. And yes, I'll be at the bar. Now, I will see you by the pool.
The bar by the pool.